In this video, I'm going to talk about glucagon-like peptide 1. GLP-1 is released by our cells in our gut when we consume food. It increases levels of insulin sensitivity, modulates blood sugar, and allows you to be less hungry, more satiated, but more importantly lowers glucose sensitivity and improves insulin function. You've probably heard of drugs like Ozempic, semaglutide, which are GLP-1 agonists that mimic the effect of GLP-1 in the body, which people will take off-label to suppress appetite. More importantly, take it because they don't have the correct information, the correct macronutrients down to the specific level, what you actually need to be more healthy and not have to rely on over-the-counter drugs. But obviously, these things are just like band-aids on a bullet hole for the real problem of fat loss in today's society, which could simply just be resolved by better information and, understanding how to be more healthy. So where do you get GLP-1? Protein. Right? More specifically, the correct macronutrients and plan to implement within protein in your diet. So in this video, I'm going to break down the hunger suppressant with protein, the thermic effect of protein, building muscle to burn more body fat, and how I implement this all into my clients' plans at the end of this video to tie this video into a nice little bow. So make sure to stick around to the end of the video to kind of show exactly how I implement all the stuff I'm about to tell you into my clients' plans. It's how my client Phil lost 65 pounds. It's how my client Devin lost 35 pounds eating more food. It's how my client Kevin lost 35 pounds eating more food. And if you guys don't know me by now, my name's Adam. I'm an online fitness professional. I help men lose body fat, keep it off for good, get to very lean body fat percentages using a high level form of nutrition and metabolism manipulation called metabolic priming. There's going to be a video on my channel talking about metabolic priming, and the video is going to also be pinned in the link below. But the purpose of this video is to talk about exactly what GLP-1 is, how to implement it into your diet, and how I implement it into my clients' plans to make them gain muscle tissue, lose body fat, and get to very lean body fat percentages. Let's talk about the hunger suppressant aspect of a high protein diet. Certain amino acids in protein can secrete GLP-1 in the body, like glutamine. So this doesn't mean go buy a glutamine supplement over the counter. This means that, understanding that certain proteins have higher glutamine content, which also is going to help with secretion of GLP-1. Right? So also actively eating food is going to make you feel a lot more satiated than taking a supplement or even taking a shot like Ozempic or semaglutide, right? So the essential amino acids that have a high concentration in protein actually help with the oxidation of burning body fat, right? So instead of taking Ozempic, actually putting food in your stomach that will have GLP-1 in it and also other micronutrients, amino acids that help build muscle will keep you in better health, keep your health in check, and make you look and appear much better. So, as you start to build muscle in the body with a high protein diet and the correct protein diet along with the correct macronutrients in place, your body will naturally burn more body fat. This is because with more muscle mass and more muscle tissue, the body needs more calories since it takes 8 calories to sustain 1 pound of muscle tissue, and it takes 2 calories to sustain 1 pound of body fat, right? Also, increasing muscle tissue is highly glucose absorbent, which means that it is highly absorbent of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates also help put your body in a parasympathetic state, which will reduce oxidative stress, reduce cortisol, and carbohydrates are also the preferred energy source of the brain. What a parasympathetic state is what the body is doing when it is resting, right? Getting to a resting state, recovering, right? So if the body is constantly in stress mode of under-eating and not getting enough actual nutrients, but just simply suppressing the hunger with a shot or something, an over-counter drug, you will not put the body into a parasympathetic state, which will not allow it to recover, will not allow it to decrease cortisol levels and increase concentration and other cognitive benefits as well. So as you start to build more muscle, you also start to appear much leaner, right? Muscle tissue is highly, highly metabolic in this aspect, which means that having more muscle tissue will allow you to allow your metabolism to be better. With all this being said, having more muscle tissue is not only highly, highly metabolic, which is increasing your muscle tissue, but means you also be able to eat more food. More food will be in place to actually supply that muscle tissue from degradation. So if you're someone who is hypercaloric and restricting yourself from foods and hopes to lose weight, you either enter a highly catabolic state, which is, the degradation of muscle tissue, which most people get caught in, which is like the skinny fat look, right? So when you get caught in the skinny fat look, that's just simply your body's down regulating of your metabolism in hopes to save you from degradation and save your body from starvation. So Along with that, protein is the highest thermic effect macromolecule, right? Which means that it's the macronutrient with the highest thermic effect. For every 100 calories of protein, 25 to 35% of that gets broken down, right? So with every 100 calories, 25 to 35 of those calories actually gets broken down into the digestive process, right? Which means eating more protein will actually have a higher thermic effect on your body, increase your body's thermic rate, and allow your body to burn more food, eating more food. That's how my clients are eating 1,000 more calories, 1,500 more calories, and losing 35, 65 pounds, right? So now that you know, like, the higher protein diet is way more effective, more sustainable, and a way better solution than any drug over the counter, I want to kind of break this down and put this into a nice little bow and kind of explain to you why the purpose of what I'm telling you today and why I put it into my clients' plans, right? So when my clients come to me, the first thing that I do for them is I see what they're eating, right? I check what they're eating. And then when I check what they're eating, I implement them with correct macronutrients, right? A high protein diet with a high thermic effect to build muscle tissue, to increase metabolism, to decrease, hunger. And then I set them with a fat goal, right? So the fat goal is super important in the human body as well because it regulates hormone levels. It regulates hormone levels like T3, T4, metabolism, thyroid, and in most males, testosterone, which is highly, highly important. If you're somebody who's overeating on fat intake, one, your digestion can lower, right? Because with fat being the slowest digesting macronutrient, it can stop up your digestion very easily, right? So a lot of guys who come to me who eat high protein diets with, a bunch of, beef, steak, we find that their fat intake is way through the roof, which is stopping up their digestion and giving them that kind of that like dad gut, right? So one, I get them with a protein intake, I give them with a fat intake to metabolize hormone levels and increase digestion, and then I add carbohydrates, right? Which carbohydrates are super important in the human body because, like I said, they help put the body in a parasympathetic state, help with recovery, reduce of oxidative stress, but most importantly, reduce inflammation in the body, right? So people who come to me who have been in a highly caloric deficit for an extreme amount of time, their body gets very inflamed, right? They're doing tons of cardio, they're eating low amounts of food, and their body gets highly inflamed from the degradation of your metabolism and the downregulation of your BMR. So with that, I put my clients, exactly where they start calorically wise, right? So why I started out with their calorically wise is because, in a sense, when you break down macronutrients, micronutrients, and calories what fluctuates your weight. If you go up in weight, use more calories, down in weight, less calories, right? It's all true to a certain metabolic point where your body's actually restricting yourself from the degradation of your BMR and metabolism. But what actually gives you the cognitive look is macronutrients, right? Protein, carbs, fats. So nailing macronutrients on the dot makes them get that appeared lean look with a higher protein diet to build muscle tissue, to increase metabolism, to expand their muscle tissue into their skin and make them appear and look more lean. Because as you start to build muscle, your body will look and appear to be leaner because the body fat has less surface area to cover. So now that they have more muscle tissue, they have a fat goal that is, reducing any digestive issues, and a carbohydrate goal that is not only putting their body into a parasympathetic state, giving them a better cognitive ability, giving them better brain health, but also mitigating any type of stress and cortisol levels in their body. The synergistic effect of the correct macronutrients plays an insane role in their first starting days, in the first week, 2 weeks. It's how my clients are losing 15 to 20 pounds within the first 2 weeks. My client Rick lost 11 pounds in 12 days. My client Mike lost 10 pounds in 7 days. My client Andres lost 15 pounds in 7 days, right? Because nailing the macronutrient goal, decreasing inflammation, and really optimizing digestion at a high level makes changes very fast. And then down to the micronutrient, which gets extremely important too when you kind of tie this video in a bow with the GLP-1, is that micronutrients are how you look, or how you feel. I apologize. Macronutrients are how you feel, right? So nailing certain food groups that are also going to increase GLP-1 as well, like saturated and unsaturated fats, getting healthy fats into your diet to increase GLP-1 levels in the body, to decrease satiety, like healthy fats like avocados, snack nuts, any type of omegas in the body as well, will also increase GLP-1 at a high level, and then also decrease hunger, increase satiety, and then also give you that really good cognitive and healthy look, which makes you sleep better, have better sleep patterns, have better cognitive ability. So really nailing the macronutrients is super, super important. So the next thing we do with my clients is we give them a customized protocol for their training, right? Something that is very customized to their goals. They're customized to their body weight. They're customized to their height, what they do for work. And so we are really nailing the energy input to energy output and really nailing the increased in, muscle tissue with the correct training plan, right? So a lot of people who come to me who have never had a customized training plan before are able to gain muscle tissue and lose body fat very quickly. And there's a lot of stigma out there that says that you can't lose body fat and gain muscle tissue, which is simply just not true, right? Take somebody who has never been into the gym before and get them into the gym and get them like a half healthy diet, right? Just to have them change their foods around. One, they're going to gain muscle tissue and lose body fat by being in the beginner stage, right? So similar to with my clients, when I give them a specific macronutrient goal down to the protein, carbs, fats, I help with GLP-1 levels in decreasing actual hunger in the body, but also increasing, the parasympathetic state within your body and decreasing any type of digestion issues. We pair that with their own customized training program. I have been building custom training programs for the last 6 years based off on exercise science, which will increase the body's chances of building good muscle tissue, which, reverting back to the other part of this video, which will not only help with the increase in muscle tissue and increase in metabolism, but would also help with the absorption of glucose, right? Which is highly, highly important as well, because, like we said earlier, muscle tissue is highly glucose absorbent, and also muscle tissue is highly metabolic, right? So pairing these two together with their own custom nutrition program and their own custom workout program, my clients are able to get leaner in body fat percentage, but also gain good muscle tissue in the process. And that's how they're eating more food, losing weight, and they're actually learning the things they need to learn long term to sustain it, right? Which is most important, because the purpose of this video is to explain why GLP-1 is so important in the human body, not only from a macromolecule perspective, but a longevity perspective as well. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about me, a little bit more about what I do, and the clients that have went through my program, there's going to be 2 asset links for you down below. One is going to be how to lose body fat using metabolic priming, which is my free training on my metabolic priming course. And then below that, there's going to be a ton of my client transformations and testimonials as well. More than happy to go look through that. And if you guys want to simply apply, then there's going to be an application link in the description as well. We'll get on a call. We'll see what's going on, where you're trying to get, and we'll see what's stopping you from getting there. And if I think that I can help, I'll build you out some higher level strategies, customize you a nutrition program and a workout program that's going to benefit you and your goals as quickly as possible and make a change now, but also sustainably long term.